Hey, Jenny Lakeman here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a branded email template so that it's quicker for you to send emails to your email list. You can use these for like a weekly newsletter, or you can use this template for autoresponder emails, setting those up in your email service. So I'm actually going to show you how to create this template in Mailerlite because that's my personal favorite email marketing service. But the concept is the same for pretty much any email service. You'll just have to do a little bit of Googling to figure out the exact like moving parts of your service. So without further ado, let's get into it. So when you log into Mailerlite, the way that you navigate to your templates is up in this top right corner, and you come down here to My Templates. And so that's the page that I'm on right now. You can see I've already got one branded template created. I'm going to create another one just to show you guys how it works. So you'll click Create Template, and then you're going to just give your email template a name. So I'm just going to call this template for YouTube because that's what it's for. So I'm going to click Next. And then we want to choose the drag and drop editor. Mailerlite does have some templates that you can start with if you want to, but I really like to keep my emails pretty visually simple. So I'm not going to pick any of those. I'm just going to choose the drag and drop editor and start from scratch. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to delete most of these sections. So I'm going to remove the logo, catchy header, text block, the picture. We could actually keep this text section and this button. I'm going to keep those, but I'm going to remove everything else below it. I'm going to keep this divider too. Okay, so the first thing we want to do after we've kind of cleaned up the sections is come over here to the search bar on the left, and I'm going to type in image, and I'm going to click and drag that to the top of the email, and then I'm going to click on it to edit it. This is where I want to put my email header. If you don't have an email header, you can also just use a really nice professional picture of yourself, or you could put your logo here. So I'm going to click Browse and Upload Image, and then I've got my email header right here. Double click to add it, and then you just click Select. And sometimes you have to fudge the spacing a little bit, like if there are gaps to the left and right of the image that you don't want, or if it's your logo but it's really big and you want to make it smaller, you can come over here to Settings, and you can change the image to be a custom width and make it bigger or smaller. But I just like this one for me. I want it to be edge to edge. Click Save, and then I'm going to come over here to the text block. I'm going to click on that. I want it to be left justified. So I'm going to highlight the whole text, and then I'm going to come over here to Align, and I'm going to click Align Left. Centered text, kind of like from a design standpoint, it can look really nice, but when you have long paragraphs of text, having it all be centered is actually really hard to read. So better to left justify when you got longer paragraphs, like in an email. And then the next block we want to add is just a footer. So I'm going to come back here to the little search bar. I'm going to type in footer, and then I'm going to use footer number 2 just because I think it's the simplest looking one. I'm going to click on that to edit it, and then I'm going to type in my full business name right there. And then I'm going to open the unsubscribe tab here, and I'm going to delete this text because, you know, you don't need to have a disclaimer. What you do need to have is an unsubscribe button. So make sure that you don't delete that. Okay, so the next thing to do is customize the design settings for this email template. And to do that, you just, if you're currently editing a block, you'll just click Save to get out of it. And then you're going to change the font, and we're going to change the color of the button so that it matches our brand. This is where you want to pull up your style guide if you have one for your company. This is my style guide that my business partner, Dina Rudder, created for me. She's super talented, and everything she creates is beautiful. So I feel pretty lucky to have this. All right, so the first color that I want to bring in is, I'm going to grab the very lightest gray color from my palette. I'm just going to Control-C to copy that. I'm going to come over here to the background color. This is like that gray background here. I'm going to select it and paste in my gray. It doesn't really show up very strongly, but I'm particular about colors. So now it matches my gray of my brand. And then I'm going to come over here to content settings. And the only colors that I want to edit are for text and for the links, because I don't really use any of these other types of like headings or products or anything. So I'm going to come over here to the black from my palette, copy it again, click on the text circle and paste in my font color. And then I'm actually going to make my text a little bit bigger, maybe 15 pixels. Click save. And then I'm going to edit the link color to be the red from my color palette. I'm going to paste in that red color, click save. And then I want to edit the button color to match that red color too. So I'm going to click on this button toggle, click on the circle next to button, and then I'm going to paste in my color there. I'm going to make the border radius 0. That's like how curved the corners are. I like my corners of my buttons to be nice and crisp and sharp, so I just have it be 0. And then vertical spacing, it's fine the way it is. You can make the buttons taller or shorter, but I don't mind it the way it is. Click save. And then I want to edit the button text to be bold. But otherwise, I like the button as how it is. All right, so that's pretty much, we're almost done. The last thing we need to do, I forgot to do this earlier, is change the font for our whole email. So I'm going to come over back to content settings here. See, it's not actually in content settings, it's in template settings. And I'm going to edit the font. So as you'll see on my style guide, I have a couple of different fonts to choose from, but usually what I have my like big paragraphs of text be is this Montserrat. And so Mailerlite does actually happen to have Montserrat here as an option. For many email services, your style guide font for your body text may actually not be available in your email service, just because like most email softwares like Gmail and stuff, they don't actually support very many fonts. So you can send a font in you can send an email with a fancy font, but Gmail may choose not to actually like render it in that font. So if you don't have your own style guide font here, just pick one that kind of matches closely, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, so that is how it works. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. You just click save template, and then this will load back up and it will be saved in your templates. And you can use this anytime you send a newsletter or like a marketing email to your email list. You can also use it to create new automated emails. And if you don't need like a button in your email, you can just delete that little section, delete that element out of the template when you're actually writing the email. Yeah, and I hope that's helpful. So if you are writing emails to your list on a regular basis, I want to point you to a free resource that I've created. It's called the Content Creation Framework. And it's the structure, the framework that I use to really capture my ideal client's attention from the very first sentence. It helps to really build trust and authority. And it just helps to make sure that whatever you're creating, whether it be emails or even I've used this for blog posts too, it helps you to make sure that it actually creates value, gives value to your audience. All right, so I'm going to link to this below this video. Otherwise, if this was helpful, definitely hit the subscribe button so that you can get future tips and tricks to uplevel your coaching business.